Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon review for tonight's Arsenal versus Newcastle match preview with myself, Paul. We have, obviously, Mr. Stato with us, and, of course, the legendary comedian himself, Billy Bob. How we doing, chaps?
Excellent. Yeah, really good.
Good. Now, I want to start tonight's show with your impressions of what we saw last night at the supporters meeting, because it has caused a lot of ructions, including myself. I did a video on it earlier today. If you haven't seen that, then feel free to go back and watch that after the show. It's called the Newcastle United badge, guys. Have you seen it, Alex?
I saw something online today that I wasn't super pleased with.
That's the best way. Have another look. Listen, here it is. Now, obviously, it's not the finished version by a long shot. But, I mean, guys, I hate it. Honestly, it looks like they've gone into a primary school and said, let's design Newcastle United's next badge. Billy, what's your thoughts?
It's very basic, I would say. it's something that you might see on, I don't know, I really don't know. It's just something very childlike.
It's not great, is it?
Not, but it may look better on a shirt with colour and things like that. Who knows? But it's besides the moment in time. Looking at that, can't say I'm ecstatic about it.
Alex?
No, I don't think it would look better in colour and on a shirt. It looks like they've written to the local primary school and got them to all do their own entries, and they've just pulled out the hat. No, awful. The fact that that's been leaked is tragic. Like they need to do better. That whole brand and side of NUFC needs to sort themselves out, because the whole point in this is to make it more sellable, not make us look like a laughing stock.
Gareth is right. It looks like it's been designed by an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
Fortunately for us, the national media don't care about us enough to throw us under the bus with that. But could do, but they probably won't.
Even if it's unfinished, Billy, right, and they put colour to it, it's still awful. Is it not?
They'll probably be better off going to a zoo where there's monkeys hurling their own feces around and taking that as a badge. Probably better off doing that.
Yeah. Now, there obviously has been a lot of Newcastle United fans designing their own badges and sort of putting them up online. And there is a couple of really good ones. I haven't got any to show you, but there is a few on there that people have worked on and done really well and done a good job, which there's a circular one, I think, with two magpies on it, which looks really, really good. But I don't get it. I don't get it. And obviously the next fan meeting, I joked before in the video that our very own Tom Lynch is going. And I asked him to create a riot when he goes in there, and he's refused. But I mean, I just don't get it. The badge we have at the minute, for me, you can see it all on the screen there as well. It's iconic. By the way, they're not seahorses either, so please let's not get that. They're not seahorses on the badge, but it's iconic. We've had a couple of iconic badges in the past. I just don't know who the hell is being paid that amount of money to come up with something as bad as that. It is dreadful. Agent Tech, who's been a member for 17 months, as I said earlier in chat, wasn't the only option they showed. No, it wasn't, but, it's the fact that they showed that option that is a worry. Toon Dave, a member for 39 months, says, evening, lads, hope you're all well tonight. Just wondering if Paul has changed his SAFC bath mat tonight, or did he send it to Stato? Stato may receive some red and white goodies in the post in the next week or so. You never know.
Straight in the bin.
As I said, straight in the fire for me. Warren says in the intro, doesn't Billy look uncannily like Danny DeVito? Well, that's another one. I mean, so many famous people you're getting compared to, Billy. I'd take that as a compliment.
Have one thing in common, I don't know. You know, Danny DeVito, Winston Churchill, Bernard Manning. Yeah, so I mean, they've all got one thing in common. They're all FBs, aren't they?
No, they're all very famous people.
The famous fat bastards, yeah.
No, they're famous for what they achieved in life. Let's put it that way. Now, obviously, some very bad news as well coming out from Luke Edwards. That it looks like Sven Botman is on the sidelines again, guys. That he's going to miss the final 2 games of the season. Now, I'm pretty sure that when we do our Newcastle team prediction later on, that we were all probably going to have Botman in the side with the same formation that we played against Chelsea. Do we change that? You'll have to wait and see what we think later on. But it's a massive blow, Alex. It's a massive blow to Botman as well, if it is the case. It looks like they've had to send him to a specialist. But obviously, I think we'll get more confirmation from Eddie tomorrow morning.
Well, I've seen a few conflicting reports as to whether he's out or not out. However, I really hope he's not. That would be outrageous. It would be ridiculous. And for people that I've been telling off for throwing Woodgate comments about for the last 6 months, saying it's too premature, it's ridiculous and unfair on the man.
Yeah.
Now, if this is true, then okay, maybe we're starting to get a bit more worried about his fitness, but I don't think we can talk about it yet. I think we need some confirmation. I think it's inappropriate to say anything that might be even remotely mean about Botman because we don't know the truth. I think we should probably wait and see because there's people talking about rushed back, not rushed back, injury prone, not injury prone. We'll wait and see what they say tomorrow. It might not have been, we don't know.
Now, obviously, Billy, if he is out, a lot of talk online has been about putting Emil Kraft in and into to sort of put him in as a centre back. But Lascelles is back, and he's played some reserve games. Would it be a risk throwing Lascelles in?
Yes, I think so. Personally, I don't think we need to go far at the back now. Arsenal don't have a fit centre forward, and the bloke they had playing centre forward is suspended. So the kind of need for us to play 3 isn't as urgent as it once was, I don't think. And Craig Hope thinks that Sven Botman could play on Sunday. So
yeah, exactly.
Craig Hope is more of a reliable source, I would say, than Luke Edwards.
It's very strange, isn't it? That both, I mean, Edwards is. Listen, he's come out with some decent stuff the last few weeks. So is Craig Hope. I guess the main man will be tomorrow morning in the press conference, getting it out to Eddie Howe. But on the flip side of that, Alex, Eddie Howe may well just play mind games again. We know he's good at that. And he always likes to throw a spanner in the works when we come up against Arsenal.
I don't know if it's mind games. I think it's just being careful. Like Botman, we know he had to ice his knee and come off in the last game. So I don't know. I'm not willing to comment on this until we know the facts. It could be all of the above or none of them. Not sure.
James Ansell says, I'm not seeing anything from Craig Hope about it, though it makes me feel less worried about him. Kai Havertz back in training for Arsenal, does have a chance of playing. I don't like Kai Havertz. I think I've made that quite a...
it's been months since he played, doesn't it?
It's a long time. Yeah.
Don't chuck him straight back in. Maybe he needs most of that now.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of toon and froing going on at the minute regarding mind games, and obviously, for Arsenal, this is a massive game for them, given what we've done to them in the past couple of seasons. They want, I guess, they're looking at it as a revenge game, Alex, in some way. But Trossard's not playing, Rice is doubtful, Gabriel's not playing, so they have got a lot of players missing.
Yeah. Even with Botman or without Botman, I think it's still a reasonable time to play them.
Yeah.
They haven't won for a while. The last time they won was on the 20th of April against Ipswich, and that was, it's Ipswich, and they were a man down. They drew to Liverpool just about, lost to PSG, lost to Bournemouth, lost to PSG, drew to Palace. So they haven't felt a win in a number of weeks, 3.5 weeks. So, and they've not been doing fantastic against teams like, Brentford, they drew, Palace, they drew, Bournemouth, they lost. I think we're better than those three clubs under a microscope. Maybe not in every match. We don't win every match against them, but there's we've got every right to be trying to take 3 points in this game. I think we are good enough. But we do have to play the right game plan, the right personnel. The plan has to be executed correctly. We've got to go with the right attitude. But yeah, they've got players missing, like you said. Marino suspended, and they've not been doing very well. So let's try and get second place.
Billy, this is a huge, we say it's a huge game for Arsenal because of the revenge stuff and things like that. And probably more so with the supporters than the players themselves. But what an opportunity this is for Newcastle United, because if we get 3 points on Sunday, you look into the final game against Everton. Now, we should be beating Everton. That should be... so to finish runners-up in the Premier League, and the nominations, of course, have just come out for Manager of the Year. And Eddie's in there alongside Schlott. Thomas Frank's in there. The Wolves manager, Pereira's in there. There is some good managers in there, Santo as well. This is a huge opportunity. And Eddie surely is going to get Manager of the Year if he finishes runners-up with a cup.
He's definitely in the running. So for me, he's top two. It's either him or Slot. Generally, they give it to the manager that wins the league. But I think with the size of the squad, with the no money spent on the side and coming out finishing potentially second and winning the cup, yeah, you've got to give it to Eddie Howe, I would think. But again, is he fitting ticking the right boxes? Top six manager, big six manager, card side manager? No, I think Slot probably get it. But in our heads and our hearts, we know that's wrong. And Eddie Howe should be getting it, especially if he finished second. That's something we haven't done since 1997. Kevin Keegan and Kenny Dalglish are the only two managers that have done that, as far as I could think. Pretty sure that no one else got as high as that. Yeah. So that's outstanding. And to finish above Arsenal, who basically have been crying about winning the league for 4 years, is an amazing achievement if it happens. It really is.
We've got a super chat from Michael McIntyre. I think it's brilliant. Toon. I have no idea what he's talking about. Please don't be the badge, Michael. Or else there'll be serious questions asked of you, undoubtedly. The thing is, Alex, if we can perform on Sunday, I think it could get quite spicy at the Emirates with regards to the crowd and their response to the team, and in particular their manager as well. Because obviously I know they got quite far in the Champions League, but they're going to finish the season trophyless again, and that hasn't gone down well with Gunners fans. So maybe if we can get out there and cause the upset and give the fans a bit of grief for going at Arteta, it could turn nasty for Arsenal.
I think it might. I think they're going to have an attitude issue. They've had a lot of red cards this season. It's not gone well for them in terms of the entire plan for their season. They've not won any trophies or any competitions that they've been in. They've not basically achieved what they wanted. And they've lost 3 times to us. We absolutely demolished them in the cup over 2 legs home and away. We pipped them in the league with a 1-0 with a tidy performance. So we are 3 wins out of 3, 5-0 on aggregate, clean sheet. They've had a really weird last couple of months. Apart from that Real Madrid win, it's been pretty poor. It's been draws, losses, draws. Unless we're counting Ipswich and obviously the Real Madrid game I referenced, it's been very poor for Arsenal. I think that they're on the ropes. They're on the ropes as a club right now, and they need to sort it out. They managed to bring it back with some good play against Liverpool because they've got the ability, but their mentality's shot, and they're in the bin mentality-wise at the moment. They need to sort it out. They need to, if they don't put a good performance in against us. I think we've had a few games recently where we could have scored a lot of goals and it's not really worked for us. Like the first half against Chelsea, if it had gone, if we'd have had a little bit better luck, I think we could have put 3 or 4 past Chelsea. And it was more of a luck case than anything. So if Arsenal don't turn up fully, then we'll be good. But again, Arsenal have got an abundance of quality, and if they do sort themselves out, it'll be a very difficult game and very difficult to win. And Arsenal are likely to win if they sort themselves out, but they may not. So we need to go there with a good game plan, with a good attitude, because they are all over the place at the moment.
Now, Billy, touching on the young Premier League Player of the Year, no Lewis Hall in there and no Tino Livramento, which I find absolutely baffling. Any thoughts on that?
Well, both should be in for, as far as I can see. Have you got a list of who is in?
Have they put Lewis Skelly in? I bet they bloody have.
I don't think they've put Lewis Skelly in, no.
What's the list, mate?
I can't remember. I know Gravenbert's in there from Liverpool.
He's in the Player of the Year, though. He can't be in both.
Well, they can.
He's not even that good.
Somebody
he's good, but he's not. I wouldn't put him. I don't know how he's been voted for.
Yeah, if in the chat, can you put the young player list up? So I've got no idea who's in it.
I'm absolutely seething that we've got one player in the overall Player of the Season vote. I think that is outrageous. Forest have 2. We've got 1. We might finish second with 1 player in the Team of the Season vote. That is, by definition, just absolutely mental.
Yeah, Lewis Skelly's not in there. Saliba is from Arsenal. Huyson at Bournemouth.
The young players or just the players?
Yeah.
Young players.
Yes. Saliba's 24, by the way.
How's he getting a young player? I was going to say that.
It just unbelievable. He's 24.
I'm going to put Jamie Vardy just to tick it off.
Well, I mean, look, it's the usual bollocks. I mean, if
Tonali's 24, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's what Kieran's saying. Tonali should be in. If he's 24, how is Tonali not in there?
Gordon's 24 as well.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Well, Dan Burn should be definitely in the full players of the year. There's no doubt about that for me. He's not, is he? There's 4 or 5 players that could have been locked in. And
you could argue we could have Bruno, Tonali. I know Bruno's not. We've been critical of Bruno in moments this season, but in terms of the general populations, they don't watch us enough to know what they're talking about. So I'm surprised that either Tonali
Cole
or
Palmer's
Bruno
in there. You're joking.
Cole Palmer.
He's been shit for half the season.
And scored for 3 months of the season as the main
João Pedro, Morgan Rogers, Saliba. That's it. So you got Saliba, Rogers,
Dean
Huyson, Pedro, and Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer's literally
and Ryan Gravenberch, of course.
That is ridiculous.
And Anthony Elanga's there as well. And Liam Delap. So there you go. That's the list. Liam Delap.
I mean, God,
Anthony Elanga, Ryan Gravenberch, Dean Huyson, Cole Palmer, João Pedro, Morgan Rogers, and William Saliba.
How is Tino Livramento not in that list? That is outrageous. I mean,
Stu
Toon just said it. Cole Palmer apologized in an interview. The fact that somebody's apologized because they think they've not been good enough, as do the fan base and the national media, and they still get put in that vote is outrageous. What a scandal.
But we know it. It happens every season. I mean, they'll have been forced to have put Isak in. You know for a fact they will have been forced to put him in because of his.
You can't leave him out. He's second in the bloody Golden Boot.
Yeah, but you know how much of a pain it would be for them to put him in there. But then you're seeing Saliba, who's 24, in there. Well, where the fuck is Sandro Tonali? Because nobody can tell me that he hasn't been had an absolutely awesome season.
He missed
we could win.
2 months.
Yeah.
The fact that if we could, in theory, win one more game and still finish second, and not have any of those players in that list, in the young players or the standard player of the season, to finish second with a cup win and to have one inclusion in those lists is scandalous.
Yeah, it is.
Forest have got 3 players in the 2 lists.
Yeah. Because Chris Wood's in as well.
Murphy's not in. Livramento's not in anything. Tonali's not in anything.
No.
Dan Burns not in anything. Bruno's not in anything. How?
I mean, how Dan Burn has had the season. What a story Dan Burn's been this season. To do what he's done and get in the England squad at his age, how can he go unrecognised? It is absolutely ridiculous. But we listen. It's always going against us. They will hate anything to do with Newcastle United going into these awards. It's just the way it is. It's never going to change either. Big Tank with a super chat saying, without Marino, Arsenal is suffering in the attack, but I'm not counting them out, especially with their midfield and, of course, Bukayo Saka. Chip is with a super chat saying, we have won many games. We have won more games than everyone bar Liverpool. We have been done dirty, as Stato would say, player-wise, for the awards. I mean, it's bonkers. There's no other word for it. Well, there is words for it, but
no, it's scandalous for me. Scandalous.
Also scored the second most goals.
Yeah,
and they're not all scored by Isak.
I'm really surprised actually Jacob Murphy isn't there because I mean the assists that guy's got this season. But you know what? It's just
there was a graphic, Paul, I saw today, and it was most open play chance creations in the Europeans' top 5 leagues. And Jacob Murphy's like 9th.
Yeah.
And he's in a list with some incredible players. Florian Wirtz is 10th.
Oh.
Jacob Murphy's got more open play chance creations than Florian Wirtz, who is going to be the next attacking midfield king for Germany. And he's got to move to either City or Bayern Munich. Jacob Murphy's got more than him.
Going to go for over 100 million quid in the summer. And he got more. Jacob Murphy's got more.
It's scandalous. It's scandalous. They picked it with their eyes closed.
Well, reports are that Florian Wirtz has been in Liverpool today with his family, so talking to the big wigs there. So
that's quite scary though, because to having Szoboszlai and Wirtz as two attacking midfielders is criminal. That's very impressive.
Yeah. Garant says, just Sodom, keep on leaving our players. We hopefully keep on qualifying for the Champions League. Yeah.
Well, I was expecting, when they do a Premier League team of the season at the awards, I was expecting Burn, Murphy.
No.
I don't think it's going to happen now.
No, of course not. Of course not.
But imagine if we finish second, though, and we get like one player in.
If we get one
How are they going to do it? If we finish second and we get Isak and that's it, it proves that it's a farce. Because the second best team in the league deserve more than one entry by default, surely. But
remember what that bell end Rory Jennings said on his podcast, Alex. There's only 3 players that would get into any Premier League team from Newcastle, and that was Bruno, Isak, and Gordon. The rest wouldn't get into any Premier League team outside of Newcastle. So, but maybe that's how the media think of us as
Cole
well.
Palmer. I mean, I can't get over that. I really can't get over it.
Well, how it, Billy? I mean, he could have literally played 3 or 4 games this season and probably still been in there.
It feels like he has.
I mean, they worship him, don't they? Look at the way Sky went on about him after that Liverpool win.
When he scored a penalty,
it was absolutely pathetic. And where was he against us last week?
Non-existent. Notable only for his Blackadder haircut.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, Alex, let's take a look at at our opponents for Sunday. Of course, Arsenal. Let's see what their league stats are like on the old.
They are interesting.
Yeah.
So just to show you what I was talking about before, this is their recent run of form. They have a 2-2 draw against Liverpool, a 2-1 loss against PSG, a 2-1 loss against Bournemouth, a 1-0 loss against PSG.
But that's I think they were better than PSG in everything by the result.
Oh dear.
That's what he said, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Anyway,
Arteta.
It's just a good old Alex Ferguson comment, that is. The win to Ipswich, which, I mean, I feel like we can gloss over that one because pretty much everyone's beaten Ipswich this season, apart from Man United. Real Madrid, it's not letting me scroll up. Can we scroll, please, SofaScore? Thank you. They beat Real Madrid, which, of course, was an impressive victory. But let's not ignore the fact that it was an extremely out of character Declan Rice free kick performance that got them through that tie, which is not a consistent feature of their game. So I'm not taking that away. I know we've got some Arsenal fans who are viewers of the channel. We're not taking that away from you. It was a great win, historical win. However, it's not something that you guys have got in your locker every week. And then a draw to Brentford. So we've gone all the way back to the 12th of
Alex,
April here.
Remember, they haven't lost to the Big Six all season, though.
That's fine, because we're not in the Big Six. They've lost to us 3 times.
Yes, we are in the Big Six. There's no Big Six anymore. Manchester United are a mid-table. If you go off the last 2 seasons with Manchester United, their average position is 12th. So they are a mid-table Premier League side. They're not a Big Six side anymore.
We've got the Bournemouth loss lineup, which is pretty much full strength for them. Like, there's an argument to be made that they might have started Marino instead of one of the midfielders and Gabriel if he wasn't injured, and then maybe someone else instead of Ben White. But it's not a million miles away from their main team. They just sort of rotate the front 3 and do different things. And Havertz, I mean, half of them were calling for Havertz's head not long ago. So I don't know what they like and what they don't like. It seems to be very mixed from Arsenal fans at the moment. Some like Gabriel Jesus, some don't. Some like Havertz, some don't. Some are adamant they all need to go. They need a striker. Not sure. But again, it's a very expensive lineup with good quality. But they lost. They did lose to Bournemouth. So have we. Bournemouth are a very, very good team this year. This was the Palace draw. And this is the Palace team that we absolutely thumped not long ago as well. They really struggled. Trossard with a goal. Kivior.
We're going to face something very similar to this. The Palace side we played was stronger than that because they had Mateta in it, and they've only come on a sub.
Well,
for Sarr. So
yeah, exactly. And this, I think we're going to play something very similar to this, unless Havertz or someone else makes a surprise appearance. But I think Gabriel's still injured. Marino's suspended, so you would imagine it's going to be this kind of midfield. Again, unless we get some news from Arteta tomorrow that suggests otherwise. So it's going to be something very similar to these lineups, which have struggled against your Brentfords, Bournemouths, Palaces. So again, I'm going to be gutted if we don't give them a good performance because they've been dropping points left, right, and centre and losing games against these kind of teams. I don't think we've got any. No, we've got no data on them. We've got a brief. Oh, apparently Rice might be out. I mean, I don't know if Botman's making that up.
No, I said that earlier, Alex. He's doubtful.
Oh, yeah? Well, if Marino's out and Rice is doubtful and Gabriel's, that gives us a huge, huge chance. With Trossard doubtful as well, that's a huge portion of their team out. Even if Botman's not available, if they're this thin, go for the throat. Like, we might not even need Botman. Yeah, I absolutely go for the throat. In terms of team performances this season, like stats-wise, Kai Havertz with the 9 goals. This is why the newspapers are constantly flirting with the idea of Isak to Arsenal because they just don't have...
Well, that says everything you need to know about their goal scoring is the fact that Kai Havertz is leading. He's a top scorer. He's shite, to be honest. So...
I mean, he's a good player, but he's very much a versatile utility, can do a few different things, but he's not the guy you need leading the line. He's not going to go and get you 25 goals. So Saka with 10 assists. Obviously, we know Saka's very, very good. Let's go and have a look at the team data. So 4th for goals per match, 1st for goals conceded. So best defense in theory. But again, Gabriel is injured. Clean sheets down in 4th. Oh, look what we've moved up to.
Yeah.
We went in there recently. Very nice.
Yes.
2nd for clean sheets.
Absolutely.
What a nick.
Yeah. Average possession in 4th. XG of 6th. So they are maybe scoring more than they should. Shots on target 6th. Big chances 5th. So some of the offensive data, again, it suggests they need a striker. They are not very direct at all. It's either set pieces or they build up carefully. They do not know what a long ball is, apparently, judging by this data. Accurate passes down in 4th, 5th for big chances missed. I mean, it's pretty clear to see just from general data, and I know you can't boil it all the way down to data, but
they've only had 2 penalties all season. Oh, that'll change.
Yeah.
Simon
Liverpool
Hooper's
with
referee,
9.
by the way.
Yeah, they'll probably get 7 on the
Oh,
Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. The lead the penalties awarded.
4th for corners, because obviously it's a really good point for them. They do try and get corners. Best XG conceded in the league, so maybe a little bit shortchanged in that regard. What about defensive stats? Very good at high pressing. Possession 1 in the final third. They are second in 5.1. There's a few, I don't know if people have noticed, but the Bournemouth keep popping up really positively in the metrics. You can see why they've had a good year.
Mm-hmm.
If we go and have a look at discipline, 16th for fouls per match, 18th for yellows. Ooh, I mean, half of them is probably Lewis Skelly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but that's madness, isn't it? That they're so low on yellow cards, yet the lead everybody in reds.
Peter Beautiford, cover your ears. Let's go wind them up.
Yeah.
Absolutely go wind them up.
They are prone to losing the rag, aren't they?
Weird season.
Yeah, they are.
I think they're there. Let's go and press well, be aggressive, be annoying. Lots of chat in the ears just to irritate the whole team, because I think we can take 3 points if we play this right.
Indeed. Kieran with a super chat saying, Stato, how many points did Arsenal have when we had 45 or so? Oh, God, you're testing them then. You'd have to go back and look at it. Yeah. Sir Edward Howe has been a member of the channel now for 22 months as well. Thank you. Obviously, that's not the Sir Edward Howe, but Billy, I mean, Arsenal will look to Saka on Sunday. But one player that they have turned on is Martin Odegaard. Brilliant player, I think, but he has maybe gone off the boil a little bit this season, but it just shows you what the Arsenal fans are like, really, and the fact that they've got such a talented player there, but they seem to be using him now as the main person to aim for.
Well, he's been out of the team for a long time with injury, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And it took him quite a while to get back into the swing of things. He played well the other week. I can't think he was against, but he had a really good game. He's their captain. He's a danger. Him, Odegaard, obviously, Martinelli and Saka's where the threat's coming from for me. 3 excellent players.
Chris at Evermore says he wouldn't be surprised if Odegaard looks to leave. Yeah, maybe. It's not going well. But the thing is, Stato, Livramento, I've got all the confidence in the world that he can deal with Saka.
I would hope so. Certainly. He's been an absolute revelation as a left back, a left wing back. I don't know. Again, I really don't understand why he's so good on the left, because there have been. I've given so many allowances for players playing on that side who aren't left-footed or left-sided naturally for body shape, position, it being unnatural. But Tino just doesn't seem to care. He's a really good natural athlete, and this is a byproduct of modern footballers. I know there's a lot of people, and I'm kind of one of them included, a bit of a dinosaur, in that I do like the old school football, but this is because of the really good academies and coaching. You're getting these players that are so versatile, that can play with both feet, that can pass, that can read the game, that can play left side, right side, and it's not as much of a problem anymore. Livramento, I think, is a really good showcase of that. Is it kind of doesn't matter, and it just proves how good of a pickup he was. Will he be perfect against Saka? He might not be. He might make mistakes, but that's what we teed up at the beginning of this season, that Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento will make mistakes this season. They have made mistakes, but largely they've been really impressive and they've won us a lot. So if he does well, he does well. If he makes a mistake, he does. Saka's a great player, so we'll see what he does.
It depends.
Well, I was just going to say it might suit him, Paul, because Tino is a right footer. So if Saka is going to want to cut in, it might be quite good for Tino Livramento, to be fair.
I just think it depends what kind of mood Saka's in, to be honest, because I think he's one of those players, isn't he? He's either added or he isn't. There doesn't seem to be an in between with.
Pull him by the back of the shirt, give him flashbacks to the Italy final, and then he'll be a mess.
Oh, that's.
I wouldn't be surprised if one of them players went out to kick Tino Livramento. I really think that battle between Saka
they've done
and
that
Livramento,
recently, haven't they?
Yeah, I think that Saka Livramento battle is key to the game for me.
Well, you know what it is.
Saka might not start, and he's got FPS in his name, so Why would Saka not start? Do they not want to win this game?
Oh, I think they do. I think Saka will start. I don't think they.
No Rice and no Saka. I don't see how they can win the game. To be honest,
yeah. I mean, they're struggling enough.
Players out.
They're struggling enough. Looney Tunes says Saka is always at it, Paul. He came very close to scoring against Liverpool.
He's a fantastic player.
He is a fantastic player, but I don't think you could say Saka's at it every game. I just don't think he is. He goes missing a lot.
And white shirt, he'd be more consistent.
Indeed, he would. Indeed, he would. Predator says if you stop Saka, you stop Arsenal. Everything goes through him. He was terrible in the reverse fixture, as Chipper says. He was terrible against us. But again, we talk about the physicality, Billy. But we've got guys in there who aren't afraid to put it about as well. You know, Bruno, Tonali, of course. Dan Burn and Shea like to get in the rough stuff. And Arsenal don't like that when it's given back to them, do they?
No, absolutely not. They like things laid on the plate for them that they're not prepared to put the hard work in at times. I'll take it back to that Real Madrid game that Stato talks about. They scored 3 worldy goals. Had they not scored them 3 worldy goals, I don't think they win the second leg because obviously the whole tie was shaped by that first game. If it's put on a plate for them, someone fights back, they don't seem to like it very much, which is not really Arsenal of old. That's certainly not George Graham Arsenal or Arsene Wenger Arsenal, but it's something that developed under Mikel Arteta. That's definitely the case for me. Who can forget that Monday night when they came to St James's Park and we played them off the park?
Yeah.
Well, I think Eddie Howe needs to show them before the game, show them that recording of Arteta losing his rag in the dressing room and say, go do that again. Because they definitely don't like playing us. We're their bogey team. They hate it.
Rice and Trossard have apparently been seen in the Arsenal training photos this week. So, again, I mean, they are doubtful. It does say doubtful. You know, but if they are carrying little knocks, then let's get stuck into them. You know, if they're...
Can I just say something, Paul, in regards to Arsenal, though? Like, I know we're being quite harsh because we want to win. I feel like I am being truthful. And I think we're all being quite... We're trying to show the other side that the media probably aren't going to show in all these previews. But on the flip side, if you are an Arsenal fan, like, you've had some fantastic times this season. Like, you got knocked out of the Carabao Cup by the winners who were absolutely... gonna die to win that trophy.
Who was that again?
It was Newcastle. It was us. You know, the league. You were literally you've been just behind Liverpool all season. You've been really good, and any other season, as our Arsenal fans have pointed out, you could have won the league in previous seasons. It's just quite unfortunate. The Champions League, you lost to PSG, who have beaten everyone and are having their season. Really, like this might be the season they win it. It very well could be. So. For Arsenal fans who are really upset, it's still been really impressive. Like you're definitely one of the top 5 or 6 clubs in Europe all round, which is incredible. But I just think the fans maybe are just a bit they're a bit upset about this whole bridesmaid joke. Never the bride.
Well, Sophie makes a good point here, saying they haven't really cared about the league since they beat Madrid in the first leg. You know, they gave up on the league. Yeah. Took their eye off the ball. Arsenal's new shirt is out today, apparently, says Mark. So they may well have.
As long as it doesn't look like a Lynx can. Their shirts have been so awful the last few years.
They haven't been good, have they? Right, let's have a look at the Newcastle situation then. I hope it's that 11.
I mean, if Botman's available, it is that 11.
Because I just think teams find, for some reason, it very, very difficult to play against Newcastle in this formation. And, you know, Billy, against Arsenal, I'd prefer that formation to a 4-3-3.
I mean, yes, I understand why, but again, they haven't got a centre forward. And so it's a similar kind of situation to what it was against Chelsea after Jackson got sent off. So 3 men marking nobody, I'm not so sure. With Havertz playing, yes, I understand. But if he's not playing, we've got a spare man now, or maybe even 2 spare men. And of course, Jacob Murphy at right wing back against Martinelli. Well, he did well against whoever was on the side against Chelsea, so I'd rather have a right back in there, if I'm perfectly honest.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that Martinelli against Murphy is a little bit scarier. I mean, do you concur with that, Alex?
I would. I don't think it matters if we scored 3 goals, though.
Yeah,
I do think we can throw the kitchen sink at them with this formation because in sort of transitions, you're looking like that, and that's pretty terrifying for anybody to deal with. Like when that is camped at the edge of your box, good luck, because I don't think our bad luck in front of goal is going to persist. We've got 2 games left, and I think some of these lads really want to score. Like Bruno's chomping at the bit. Barnes has had a couple of frustrating games for himself, and he's going to want to get back on the score sheet. He has 3 or 4 good pops per game. He's going to be dying to score again. As is Gordon. Gordon's trying to break his duck. He ain't scored for ages. So there's an Isak as well, who probably wants to get that off his back. He's been struggling to score from open play.
Isak's been poor the last 3 or 4 games.
Livermento's been getting in good positions at the back post. Yeah. Like some of these are going to be absolutely gagging to score a couple of goals. So, but yeah, I mean, if we turn this around.
So let's have a look without Botman. Then what do we do?
So let's say Botman's out. Obviously, we are left with a bit of a decision because what is the situation with Kieran Trippier? Do we have any news this week pre-press conference?
I don't think there's any change on Kieran Trippier's injury.
So he's out.
So we just have to presume he's out. Yeah.
Okay, so if Trippier's out, then that
he can't start Murphy at right back if we go for at the back. It just can't happen. Murphy will be exposed.
Well, there's something that's going to happen then is somebody's going to have to come into midfield. Let's take the wingers out. Let's take the wingers out for a sec. So we're left with that as kind of the blueprint. We need to then do we go back 5? Because Lascelles is now available. So do we bring? So potentially, if we want to keep the back 5 because it's working. Let's go get Lascelles. Bless him. Where are you, mate? There he is. Let's get the club captain back.
He could go with Kraft though at centre back as well because he's played there.
No, he's not. He will not pick Kraft. He doesn't seem to want to start him in that way. He's going to go. He'll go back 4.
Yeah, but we can't. He can't start Lascelles after the amount of time he's been out. Surely. I don't think
he's done that with Botman the last few times.
Yeah, but Botman's an elite player. But Lascelles,
he's also Fox as well now.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd be surprised. I wouldn't rule it out completely that we might end up with something like that with Kraft on the bench to come on and.
Would you not play Kraft as a right centre back? So where you've got Lascelles now.
I'd be surprised. He might. So it could be, Lascelles or Kraft come in and play that role. But I'm not convinced. And I think if that happens, I don't think he plays Cher as the middle midfield, as the central defender, sorry. He does prefer having Burn central, but then it would push Cher over here, which he has done before, but then he's going to have to do left wide cover, which concerns me slightly.
Because
I don't know.
He put Botman centre of the 3 on against Chelsea, didn't he?
There's definitely the option of starting a back 5 because Lascelles is now back, so he could, even if Botman's unavailable, he could somehow make it work. But I think it's rather unlikely, unfortunately. And that, Paul, is gonna turn our attention to if we move the formation back to let's get rid of the wingers again. The formation is going to turn into this. So we need a right back.
Well, he has to play Kraft. He's got to.
Well, okay. In this shape, then fine. We'll put Emil Kraft in. Where's he gone? There he is. Okay. So we do that then. We need a midfielder. Willock's still injured, right?
Push Bruno over to the left and put Miley where Bruno is.
You want to push Bruno left and put Miley right?
If you're playing 3 in the midfield, you're going to have to, don't you?
I feel like this starts... As soon as you go back to a back 4, this starts to get really weird.
It does, but can I make a suggestion here? Take Miley out, move Bruno back to where he is, and put Harvey Barnes in there.
I'm not doing that. That's not going to happen.
Why?
Not going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen.
Why wouldn't it happen?
I think that's more unlikely than any of the options we've put so far. I mean, I'll put it on the screen so people can see what you're saying. But
it's an option.
I don't think that's an option. I don't think
that's shoehorning for me.
That's massively shoehorning. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, but playing Bruno left midfield, he doesn't play well there.
That's not going to happen. Yeah, but that's more likely than that happening, in my opinion.
Or you put Gordon in the midfield.
We're in a really weird situation where the back five works more than the back four at the moment, because trying to re-engineer this team how we normally do it, I don't like it. It doesn't seem to fit. And I'm a bit. I know Emil Kraft has been really good for us when called upon, but I'm unsure about starting him for 90 minutes at the Emirates as a right back on his own. I don't know. I'm not convinced.
Look, I think we're all agreed here that we'd rather see a back five, undoubtedly, because you can see the problems. Because if you're going to put Miley in there, then you've got the question of who out of the three wingers gets the start.
Yeah, I mean,
one of them has to be left
exactly
out.
That we've got, we like you said, we've got Murphy, Gordon, and Barnes to then somehow slot into this conversation further up the pitch. And then a few people have said in chat, Longstaff ? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe. This is a really hard one to pick. Like last week, it made sense. We watched the club a lot. It was quite reasonable for us to call the back five, and we all got it right. This week, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. This is going to be really interesting. It could be 5 or 6 different things.
It's the Botman thing. If Botman's fit, I think we all know what the team is. It's going to be very similar to last week.
It all depends on Botman's fitness. You're right. Yes. Sophie says that Tonali plays left 8 for Italy. Yes, but Italy have got people to come in in the number 6 role. Tonali is a genius in that position for us, and we need him there.
I mean, I'm sure Tonali could do a job out there, but I'd rather he was involved more because he's so good. We haven't got the depth of quality to push Tonali out there. We're not an international team. We're not a nation. So yeah, we kind of need Tonali to be really integral.
Yeah. It's a tough one. If Botman's out, it is a tough one, because does he
Willock's
throw
not
Lascelles
either? So
yeah, does he throw Lascelles into the lion's den? Which literally after being out for so long.
I would do if Botman's out, I'll give you exactly what I would do, which is gonna be.
Oh,
I would do this.
Oh,
I would do that. If Botman's unavailable, that's what I'd pick.
Yeah, I could understand that. Such a lot of pace in that back three, though.
there is none. There is none.
Tonali's going to be coming out with a fire extinguisher, basically. But
then again, we're talking about no pace with the 3 centre backs there. But
we've got the second highest clean sheets in the league. Calm down.
Yeah, but Arsenal have no pace up front. Havertz isn't exactly blessed with pace, is he?
They don't have an up front.
They don't have an up front, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's not have any defence. Let's play 11 attackers. Go for it.
For everybody telling me that he's not going to play Lascelles, he played Botman immediately every single time he's just come back. That leads me to believe that he might do it for Lascelles, who's had a few weeks of training and played 45 minutes against Celtic Bees in a friendly. So
it's a big ask, though, Alex, isn't it?
I completely agree. But why is that not likely? I think it's possible. Everybody's saying it's categorically not going to happen. It's possible. He's been training. He's played 45 minutes of a friendly, because he doesn't have to play the whole match. You could start Lascelles for an hour and swap him for Kraft. He does not have to play the whole match. That's what he's been doing with Botman. Botman comes back, he goes straight in the lineup, and he comes off after 50, 60 minutes. Why would he not try that with Lascelles? You might all be right, but it's not an impossibility.
No,
surely.
It's not impossible.
Of course, it's not.
Chance that could happen.
Yeah, it's not impossible, because he does have
personally.
options, but I don't see him throwing Lascelles in. I mean, look, we'll see what he says in the morning. I don't think he's going to give too much away anyway. But
have we got anybody watching that saw the Celtic game? Did anybody watch? Because I don't know where they even played. I'm guessing it was up in the northeast. Did anybody here actually go and see that was it a youth game against Celtic B, or was it a behind closed doors game? I'm not sure what it was. If anybody watched that match, how did Lascelles do? I'm really curious.
Peter Bjork,
what do you want as your final
Oh, fucking hell. Why put it on me, Alex? I've got no bloody idea, Alex, to be fair.
I don't know either. It's just
I mean, look, like we've already said, this all hinges on Sven Botman. Because if Botman's fit to start, then we know what the team is going to be. It's going to be the same 11 that started against Chelsea, undoubtedly.
It'll be that.
Because we were... Well, I think Botman was in the middle of the three, actually, against Chelsea. He was. Yeah. But Burn was out.
I think they rotate, but
well, yeah. I mean,
they did rotate.
They can do that. Yeah. But that's the team for me. If Botman is fit, but it all changes.
If Botman isn't fit, you need to. See, if we play with Isak, is he fit? If we go a flat back four, we can then play Gordon as a striker, Barnes and Murphy on the flanks.
Oh,
does that happen?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Billy, talk about throwing spanners in. Well, Isak's not been fit for a month, but apparently he was behind closed doors, Alex. So reports said he did okay, but nobody actually saw him. Oh dear. I mean, look, this is what Eddie Howe is. You know, this is why he's paid the.
I mean, I can give you a fact that John Ruddy will be on the bench. That's all we know for sure. But
Andy Dubravka.
Yeah, they both will be. Yeah.
Well, last season we tried to pack the midfield and got absolutely battered there, didn't we? So it's not going to be that kind of system. So it's either 5 at the back or it's our normal 4-3-3.
I think if we have to go 4-3-3, we're in trouble.
Yeah, they're missing pretty much everyone. So,
well, we think they are, and if they are, then good. Maybe. But we just have to wait and see.
People saying a few channels say Botman's out for the season. No, they're just regurgitating Luke Edwards' article, which has not been confirmed by anyone, and the other journalists don't seem to be willing to match that information. So we're going to wait because we're not sure yet.
Yeah, all I said in the earlier news video was that Luke Edwards had reported that. I didn't say he was out.
Him and Craig Hope have been pretty spot on with everything this season. So but we'll still wait and see.
But I generally think 4-3-3. I don't like it because
I don't know how we play the 4-3-3. I don't know who plays where. It's going to be a lot of shoehorning. Whereas I feel like
if he does, Alex, if he does play 4-3-3, then I see the midfield three being Tonali, Bruno, and Miley. Because I don't think he's going to throw Longstaff back in as well. Because
I personally don't want Miley to play anymore this season. I think he's been struggling, and I'd rather he was just used in preseason and allowed to develop. I don't think he's been as useful and impactful, especially in the game away to the Emirates. I don't want Miley to start.
Yeah, but Eddie's saying totally different to that, isn't he? Eddie's saying that he's been really impressed with Miley when he's come on, and I'm with you.
It's either Miley or Longstaff. So which one do you want, Longstaff or Miley?
Well, Miley, but
unless he throws a spanner in and goes.
I do think Sean's better defensively. I think Miley's recovery runs basically don't exist. I think Miley's got a lot of improving to do in the defensive side and the transitional side of the game.
I think he's fine on that right hand side. He just can't do it on the left.
I have a feeling even if Botman's out, he's going to go 5 at the back. He has to. I don't think 4-3-3 is an option. You know, if we're sitting looking at that and we're finding difficulties trying to put a 4-3-3 together, you know, because if you go 4-3-3, it means Barnes, Gordon, or Murphy gets left out. When, you know, realistically, as a 5 formation, Murphy does well as a wing back. We've then still got Gordon and Barnes on the field. We're a lot more dangerous, in my opinion.
Maybe try to back J7 up.
Well, I mean, he was in a leg brace last week, Billy. I'm not confident of J7 being fit.
Right. Here's a list of other people that exist.
That exist.
Willock can go away because he's not available. Trippier's not available.
No.
You've got Kraft and Lascelles. We've had that conversation. Longstaff and Miley. We've had that conversation. And I don't think he can use these two to kind of rejig the lineup in any way. I'm not sure that's feasible. And then you've got goalkeepers. There's not really.
I mean, look. I'd love to see
doesn't
Sula
solve
at
any
one point.
problems
Just
if
He's
he's
out for the
available.
season anyway.
He's out for the season, Alex. He's not.
Is he?
He's gone. Yeah.
God, useless. I mean, there's nobody else exists. Joelinton, no. Hall, no. There's nothing else we can do. I just don't see how we play. If we play a 4-3-3 in the same system we've been using all season, it's going to be very improvised with a lot of shoehorning, as Billy said.
Especially as we've had so much
Sean
success
Neve.
with a back three. Especially if we've had success with the back three.
Look, I think even if Botman's out, he goes back 5, and it's a toss up for me whether he goes with Lascelles or whether he goes with Kraft. It's a complete toss up for me. I just can't see him throwing Lascelles back in.
Yep, Sean Neve exists. Apologies, Mr. Sean Neve, but you've not really been used, so I don't know enough about Sean Neve to have an opinion on whether he should be going into this lineup. I don't know how good he is.
He's not a midfielder, is he, or centre forward?
I've never seen him play. I don't know.
He's a centre forward. He's an out-and-out striker, yeah. Simon Muller's been a member for 14 months and says, what about pinching Wanyeri for our right side? He's fallen out with favour with Arteta. And Peter Garthwaite says, Lascelles is nowhere near Botman's standard. There is no way he will risk a 30-odd-year-old player, especially if they may try to sell Lascelles. Well, they're not going to. He's signed an extension. He's not part of it.
You are mental. I mean,
Who
it could
said
work
that?
in a universe. Nick's FBS picks. It's a funny idea, and you could probably convert him into that position, but not in a week.
I think a lot of
not.
Newcastle fans would love to see Asula on at some point, just for the sheer shithousery that he would cause. The physicality and the way he would get stuck in and things like that. I think it would be fantastic. But hey, it's all down to the manager at the end of the day. I mean, we're struggling to put a 4-3-3 together, so
not an easy one to predict. I think this is the hardest one all season that we've had to predict.
And now Paul wants us to predict the result.
That's exactly what I'm going to do, Billy.
No.
Oh, dear.
Can we give our predictions tomorrow night after we've had the press conferences?
No.
Because we're just guessing completely.
Of course we are. But
you can't even make an educated guess at this point because there's 2 sets of 11s that we've got no idea.
Isn't that the fun of it, Alex? It's just anyway.
I can't get it right when we know the fucking lineups.
Get your predict exactly. Well, I mean, how many times do we get the scores right, for fuck's sake? Get your scores in the chat, guys. Let us know what you think it's going to be. Billy, we'll start with you.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All from the heart. Newcastle 2, Arsenal 1. All from the heart. No rhyme or reason to it. Just putting my finger on a page with lots and lots of scores on it. And that's what I'm saying. 2-1 Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm going 2-1 Newcastle as well, for exactly the same reasons as Billy. Stato?
Well, it's a bit of a throwaway one, isn't it? Because we've got no idea what the lineups are going to be. We've played them 3 times. We've beaten them 3 times. And we've had a clean sheet in 3 performances with 5 goals scored. I'm going to continue that theme, and I'm going to go 3-0 away at the Emirates.
3-0?
Absolutely cake them. I think they're going to get stuffed. I think we've had some really interesting chance creation in the last few matches, and we've just been quite unlucky, especially like Barnes and Livramento. I think there's goals in us. I think a few of the lads are absolutely gagging for it. And I just think they're in a really bad place right now. I think they're in a really bad place. I think we can go and make London ours.
Jamal Lascelles hat-trick.
Yeah. Such
I'm going to go
3-0 with words, Alex.
I'm going to go Barnes 1, Livramento 1, and Isak to score the 3rd and celebrate in front of a lot of them.
Listen, if it's 3-0, I can only guess what me and Billy are going to be like on commentary. I mean, I mean, bloody hell's fire. The abuse that we will throw at the Arsenal fans. Yes, absolutely. But the abuse that would be sent out from the Toon Review to all our Arsenal
not abuse,
friends.
Just banter. But yeah,
abusive banter. But we would give it out in bucketfuls, and I can only guess what the meltdown would be on the likes of AFTV, etc.
We'd have done the quadruple over them in a season.
Wow.
And picked them to 2nd.
Wow. I mean, the quadruple over Arsenal. Who'd have thought, eh? Who'd have thought? United Ultra is going with 5-0 to Arsenal.
Oh, well done on your season, by the way, United Ultra. Yeah, well done
Yeah.
on finishing.
Well, I'm just seeing it. Is he a Man United fan?
Relegation.
Let's have a look. Is that who's that in the?
What are you guys doing in our chat? Where have you not got a midweek stupid game to play or some nonsense?
Yeah,
Well,
It's
Thursday
Thursday,
night,
isn't
five.
it?
They want to find out
You
what
not
it's
got
like.
Thursday night, Matt.
They want to find out what it's like to be in a positive channel. Because
I love that we've riled some of the Man United fans, the Newton
Yeah.
Heath fans. Where
The
have
New-
you lot come from? This is nothing to do with you. This
Go on,
is
Norwich.
hilarious.
they've come from mid-table.
Well, mate, they're nowhere near mid-table. That'd be
They,
No,
they
but
aspire to be mid-table, them twats.
their average over 2 seasons is 12th. So there you go. But
Well, the average this season is 16th.
they're
or
trying to run
17th.
away from the tractor boys, just about.
just escaped relegation, of course. Absolutely. Bloody hell, man. Honestly, they live in a different world to us. I swear to God, they do. Paul Taylor's come back with a 6-0 to Newcastle. Indeed. Indeed. Anyway, there you go. That is the show done and dusted tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the show, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, completely free of charge. Come and be part of this incredible community we have here on the channel. But make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. Thank you very much to our sponsor, Mamaroo Records. They're based in Whitley Bay for all your music needs, whether it be vinyl, CD, merchandise, sport merch, gift cards. They've got it all. If you can't get to Whitley Bay, check them out online. They have an online store which is pinned at or near the top of our description. And don't forget the website, guys, thetoonreview.com for all your Toon Review merchandise. Alex has got the hoodie on. I've got the hoodie with the small logo on. They are fantastic stuff. Billy, yours will be coming. Don't worry.
I've got football.
Hang on, I'm getting flashbacks to Sam. Well, I didn't know when you were coming out of hospital, did I? So I couldn't get it ordered for you, but they will be on the way. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to Alex and Billy, and of course, you guys out there. A massive crowd in again tonight. Thank you all very much for your support. We really do appreciate it. I'll be back in the morning with the press conference reaction and news show. It's scheduled for 11 o'clock. I'm expecting a delivery between 9 and 12, so it could change. So keep your eye on that. It will definitely happen, though, at some point. And, of course, tomorrow night, we start the weekend with a good laugh. All four of us back on the screens for the first time in a long time for TTR Friday. As you well know, Billy has been warming up since he's made his return. So God knows whether we'll still be actually able to present a match day live on Sunday with Billy and Sam joining us. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your Thursday night, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.
Come on, the Gators and the Crumpets.
Come back and check out some green.